you.
All for you. Freedom.
Keep your ears to the ground.
Talking about the freedom.
It's the best show in town.
Let's show it down. Freedom. Well. Okay, so it's Spencer, and I'm back with another snack attack for you. This one's really cool. It's smoked salmon flatbread. Flatbread. It's smoked salmon flatbread. And the fun thing about this is you do it reverse. So instead of putting all the toppings on the flatbread and then baking it, what I like to do is get the flatbread in nice and crispy, and then the smoked salmon goes on top. But I'm a sucker for flavor, so I'm gonna season the flatbread before I put it in the oven. So it's really simple. I have melted butter. You could use oil if you want, like a nice olive oil. Just warm it up. And then smoked salmon and flatbread are really good friends with garlic. They're old school buddies. And you don't have to worry about cooking it because it's gonna toast up on the flatbread. So just get the garlic in there. Okay, and then I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna put Parmesan cheese on it. I know that sounds wild, but when you bake this with the butter and the Parmesan cheese on it, it's a super perfect vessel for smoked salmon. So along with the garlic and the butter, you know, I say salmon, you say lemon, because it's delicious. We kind of match. Not the juice, because you don't want to water the butter down, but just a little bit of the fragrant lemon zest. And that's perfect. That's going to be a great seasoning for the flatbread. And then you can just take it, put it on, and then use a brush. It smells crazy delicious already. And make sure you get lots of that good texture. And then you want garlic and lemon and butter in every bite. Go right to the edges, corner to corner. Delicious. And then Parmesan cheese. Now you can use fresh Parmesan cheese and grate it, but what I like to use for this is the pulverized Parmesan, and they call this like restaurant parm, and it melts really quickly and it gets really crispy really fast. And you could put parchment paper on the bottom of this, but I really like when the cheese burns on the outside, and I struggle when I'm washing the dishes. Just kidding. So you want to get a nice amount of parm, and then just to highlight everything a little bit, just a little touch of salt, and then put it in the oven, 500 degrees on a broil. But you want to watch it. Leave your nose and your eyes and your ears open because you don't want to burn this beautiful flatbread. Sweet. Remind me to look for the flatbread. Okay, so this is going to be like a sour cream and onion topping. So this one's super simple. Some regular sour cream. You could use creme fraiche if you want, and then 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and that's really nice because it cuts through the fattiness of the sour cream. And then pinch of salt. And I like using green onions or scallions. You could use chives if you want, but just cut them up really nice and thin, and then get them into the sour cream. And the fun thing about this flatbread is once you've cooked it with the garlic and the lemon and the Parmesan, then the rest of the ingredients kind of go on cold, which makes it really fun. I like to play the texture, so it's kind of like warm, crunchy flatbread and then cool sour cream and smoked salmon. It's pretty good. So sour cream, lemon, bit of salt, the scallions, and then some onion powder. Oh, this isn't open yet. Just give me 1 second. The onion powder is really great because it's going to give you like that flavor of sour cream and onion. So just a little bit of the onion powder. The onion powder can be a little salty too. So you just want to dance a little bit on the top. And then that with the salt and the lemon is going to be perfect over top. Yeah, you know what? More onion powder. Just a little bit. I love that flavor of sour cream and onion. Yummy. So I'm all about texture. So on top of the smoked salmon, I'm gonna put some toasted seeds, and these are a couple of my favorite. So one is anise. It's very like fragrant and floral and has almost like a toasted licorice quality to it. It's super great. And then fennel seeds are good as well. It's gonna give you a pop of crunch, and then the smell again, it's like super licoricey, but it's not as crazy as anise. It's kind of got like this sweeter kind of floral note to it. But if you put that in a warm pan and just toss it around, when you toast the seeds, they come to life. As soon as you give it warmth, you give it energy, and then the seeds open up and give you a lot of natural oils. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. Hold on. Okay, like 5 more seconds and that's ready. And this is good. Watch the seeds too. You just want a little toast on it. You can see it's kind of smoky right now, and you just want to bring some of that flavor out. Oh my goodness, that's delicious. Okay. Yeah, the flatbread goes really quick on a broil. You just want to get it nice and crispy like that. I love the dark edges. And then that restaurant parm is really fun because it gets really crispy really fast. And then the flavor of the lemon and the garlic in there, that's such a good vessel for smoked salmon. So you could use any smoked salmon that you want. I have these lox here that are beautiful. Sometimes I'll season them with a little oil and some fresh dill, but I don't have that. So you just kind of want to lay the salmon down, almost like a sandwich, corner to corner. Just get these nice pieces, tear them up a little bit. And it's cool because the bread is so nice and hot and crunchy, but then you lay the salmon down, and salmon has some really nice natural fat in it. So if you just lay it down, the bread starts to warm up the salmon and it gets super funky and delicious. It kind of gives you a little play on texture, which is really cool. And you want to load it up. Don't be shy with the smoked salmon. Okay, great. And this recipe is great because it's a quick snack and it's more like a build. You don't really have to make a lot of stuff. You just have to do a little bit of seasoning. And then the sour cream and onion, that's gonna give it some good fattiness. And then when you crunch down in the bread, you get a little bit of that sour cream and onion and salmon. It's just like they're best friends. Don't be shy on that, you want a lot. Okay, and then for the seeds, this is gonna give it some nice crunch. But you don't want too much because it can be pretty intense. So just take a little bit and just sprinkle just a few on the top, and it's gonna give it some pops and some crunches. And then the anise and the fennel go so good with salmon, and then just a few things to finish it up. So this is pretty simple. These are pickled onions, and it's just a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and then you put some sliced red onions in it. And then it kind of like the acid attacks the onions and they get really nice and kind of sweet and crunchy and super vinegary. And it's delicious because when you're eating it, you get that crunchy bread and then you get a blast of the seeds and then you get to a pickle. It's super well balanced. It's almost like an all-dressed bagel. You know, smoked salmon bagel is one of my favorite things. It's kind of like a play on that. And those onions are really easy to make. And if you're gonna make this, don't leave the onions out, they're delicious. And then for me, I can't have smoked salmon without some capers. Sometimes I fry them, sometimes I chop them up. But then sometimes if you just sprinkle them on top and you get a nice shot of capers, it's delicious. And then to spice it up a little bit, just some chili flakes. I like that sound. It won't be super spicy, but again, there's so much going on in here. There's crunch, there's texture, there's salt, there's acid. It's kind of got it all. And then the cutting up of it is pretty fun. And I go on like big angles like that. So piece, almost like big triangles. That is delicious. Just that little flatbread seasoned with the garlic and the lemon. That's gonna be such a good bite with the sour cream and the smoked salmon and the pickles. Just delicious. Yeah. I love it when you eat something and it makes you smile that it's so good. It's delicious. It's super simple. These flatbreads are great. They take on a ton of flavor. So do this. Simple ingredients done really well. And it's just delicious.
Freedom! So fresh, so new. Freedom! It's all for you. All for you. Freedom! Keep your ear to the ground. Talking about the freedom. It's the best show in town. Best show in town.